to my channel. Thank you for coming back for another video. This video is going to be all about my chronic illness story part 3. This part is going to include my first year at university. Originally I was going to include this in the original 2 videos, but when I was filming those videos, before I'd even started the university portion, I had about 2 hours of footage and I thought that was too much. So I decided to cut that portion out. I thought it wouldn't be missed in the video. However, I've had some requests to carry on with the series and do the 3rd part. Mostly the requests are from my flatmate, who will feature heavily in the video, so she may be biased. But here we go, we're doing it anyway. If you like... oh. Hands on. If you like this video, make sure to like it and comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Also, if you haven't seen the previous 2 videos in this series, the links will be up here and in the description box. So my first year at uni spanned the academic year 2019 to 2020. So the university I go to is the University of Bath, and I am studying a sociology undergraduate degree, and I really love it. Though I was super excited to go to university, like most people, I was very nervous and I didn't know what to expect, and I had the added fear of not being able to handle my illness on my own while living away from my parents. So I moved in on the 19th of September 2019, which was a couple of days earlier than most people were arriving. Because I had disclosed my illness, I had been offered the chance to move in early at the pre-arrival date, which is specifically designed for people who might need more time to move in or extra help when moving in. So I moved in on the Thursday and I was the only one in my flat until Saturday morning. Due to my illness, I had been given a priority in choosing my room, so what I specifically asked for was a ground floor bedroom in a building close to the centre of campus. Before the official arrival day, me and my flatmates had connected over Facebook. One of the other girls in my flat messaged me before we moved in and told me about her medical condition and told me how relieved she was that she wouldn't be on her own. And when she told me that, I felt a huge weight lifted. I was very anxious that people wouldn't understand, and here was someone ready to understand. So over the day of Saturday, everyone in my flat moved in and I met them all, and it was awkward and uncomfortable, but it was nice. They all seemed lovely people, and I was still scared out of my mind, but I did feel a little bit more calm than I had before. So after everyone had moved in, Freshers Week started, so we had big Freshers events with thousands of people, which were amazing but highly taxing for my body, and I did struggle to keep up, but because my flatmates were so lovely, they really understood where I was coming from and were so incredibly kind and happy to take it at a pace that everyone could manage. And I did a lot less than a lot of other people did, obviously. I was surprised the amount I did manage to do. I did in fact go out clubbing maybe 2 or 3 times in that week, which I've never done again. And I'm not sure I ever intend to go clubbing that often ever again. The light keeps changing. After Freshers Week, lectures and seminars all started up, and it was really time to start doing university and learning the course and getting to grips with all that kind of stuff. The difficulties I had with going to lectures and seminars were the anxiety of being late, of going to the wrong place, of, I don't know, doing something stupid. One of the things that did affect me was I would get somewhere, sit down in my seat, my glasses would fog up because I was so hot, and I would just sit there recovering from the walk, and I wouldn't be able to listen for 15-20 minutes because I was resting from the exercise that I'd just done. After a while, my body did get used to it, and I learned how much time I would need comfortably to get to different parts of the campus, but I am late sometimes. Sometimes I do have to walk quicker than my body would really like me to. Another problem I have with lectures sometimes is they're 2 hours long, they're in a very big room, it's very hot quite often, and there have been times I've been absolutely fighting to keep my eyes open. You get to a point where you're so tired, it's so difficult, and it's physically painful to keep your eyes open and to stay awake. Realistically now, I would have more confidence to decide that if I wasn't benefiting from the lecture, then it is okay to leave and go home and have a rest. But right at the beginning, I felt too self-conscious, too uncomfortable to do that. Most of my lectures are recorded, so I can always go back and rewatch them later on. So that's something that I think is important, giving yourself permission not to go to everything. One of our most memorable nights out was what we call glitter night. We covered ourselves in glitter, and that was one of the first times we really bonded as a group, as it was very early on, and that was when I started to really feel like they were going to be long-term friends. During my first year at university, I turned 21. Now that is a bit older than most people are in their first year at university, but if you've watched my previous 2 videos in this series, you will have seen that I did an extra year at sixth form and then I had a gap year. So I was a little bit older than the average person. It didn't actually have an effect on my enjoyment or how I was able to make friends. The age you are when you go to university doesn't really make any difference. Everyone who's there is an adult, and that's all that matters. So my 21st birthday was one of the best birthdays I've had in years. I got to celebrate with my friends. They made me waffles for my birthday. My birthday actually happened during assessment time, and so unfortunately on my actual birthday we couldn't go out, but we did go out after the assessments were finished and we had a lot of fun. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is assignments and coursework, exams, all that kind of stuff, and how that affects me. Having assignments due makes me crash. It gives me a lot of anxiety, and anxiety uses up a lot of energy, and therefore I crash. If you want to see an example of this, recently I did a video which was all about a crash that I was going through when I was doing my end of year assignments. Pretty much every time I do an assignment, after the assignment's done, I have a crash. During the assignment, I'm emotional, I can't, focus on anything else but the assignment. I can't make a single decision other than things relevant to the assignment. My mind is one track and it can't handle anything else. Okay, so another big change for me when I moved away to university was the looking after myself factor. There's lots of things that the average person would do when they move away to university. First moved out, I didn't start off by doing all these things. I was trying to ease myself in as much as possible. My parents live within about an hour's drive of the university, so I had the opportunity to get more help with those things than most people. My mum would come down and see me every week. She would do my washing for me. She would bring me food shopping and ready cooked meals like lasagnas, pasta bakes, curries, things like that I put in the freezer. It was a godsend, honestly. I'm not sure I could have made it through the first year without that at the beginning. As time went on, I started going to the supermarket, I started cooking more on my own. So I was working on increasing the things that I was doing. When I move into the house with my friends, we do have a washing machine in the house, so I will be increasing to include washing on my own as well. In February, my brother came to visit me at university, and him and his girlfriend stayed over in my flat. We went out that night, and it was a big moment for me because it was the first time I think he really saw me as a grown-up, because he moved out of my parents' house when I was 14, and fairly soon after that I got unwell. I really felt like it was a milestone that we could have a night out together and have fun together. I'd never been able to do that with him before because since I was an adult I'd never been well. And then coronavirus happened, obviously. Coronavirus started off as something that we didn't really expect to become a big deal in the UK, so we kind of just carried on, and then everything escalated very quickly. So things started escalating and it seemed to be becoming a bigger deal. Someone on our university campus was getting tested and it seemed to be much closer than we previously thought it would get. My university closed down and I decided I would be going home that weekend to my parents' house, And 2 days after I got home, the UK government announced the official lockdown, and that was the end of my first year of university. So on Thursday I went to lectures, and on Friday I packed up all my stuff. So it was emotional and it was physically tiring, and it was a scary time because we didn't know what was happening in the world. We still had uni work to do and our first year to finish. So I had around 6 assignments due in the time when I was at home, and that was a complete change of pace. So I had to do my assignments at home, which was very challenging. They were difficult like they always were, but the amount of them I had was much more than usual, so I found it even more difficult, and it did cause me to have a big crash. And currently I'm still waiting on results. Results are going to be out in July, I think, sometime. So I've still got a wait to go, so I don't know. All up in the air. We'll find out, won't we? Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Videos will now be going up on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!